Hey, what's up, people? Piz out here at a new location in the man cave. If you guys like this location in front of the collection with all the cool stuff there behind me, if you want to see more videos shot from here, please let me know in the comments section below. Today I want to talk to you guys about the newly released holiday horror black comedy from co-writer and director Michael Dougherty, who brought us the now classic Trick or Treat just a few years ago. Trick or Treat was a horror film really championed by horror fans into becoming the classic that it is today. I can't tell you how many people, non-horror fans, that I've recommended Trick or Treat to who've come back to me saying, we love the movie, great flick. So I think that's why there's been such a high level of anticipation for the Krampus based on Trick or Treat. And I posted on Facebook just the other day that I was on my way to see Krampus. And I got a lot of comments. I got a lot of people saying, the very first comment that I got was one word, simply sucked. I had a couple other people say that they were disappointed by the film. I had a couple of people say that they'd heard that it was sort of in the vein of Gremlins. Had a couple of people saying that they were going to go see it themselves soon, and they were really looking forward to it. Had a couple of other people talking about the PG-13 rating of the film being a deterrent to them going and watching it. We actually talked about Krampus's rating on the last episode of The Sausage Factory, in which we did a live commentary for Star Wars A New Hope, which if you haven't seen that, go check it out. I'll put a annotation or a link somewhere around here for you guys to go check that out, because that was a lot of fun. But I really want to talk about two things before I get into the actual review of the film. And I don't want to go too off base about it, because I could probably spend half the video just talking about the rating and if the film is like or dislike Gremlins. Personally, I didn't think the film was very Gremlins-esque to me. I mean, it starts off as this very cynical, comedic, Christmas film, which very much Gremlins was, as was, like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Actually, I think Krampus, I saw more akin to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation in Krampus than I did Gremlins, really. It's kind of like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation goes to hell here with Krampus. But as far as the rating is concerned, if the PG-13 rating is deterring you guys from going and watching Krampus, don't let it. Don't let the rating stand in your way from going and watching this movie. Because I don't think this movie necessarily needs an R rating. It is a horror film, but it's really more of a dark comedy, to be perfectly honest. There's some tonal shifts, particularly toward the end, but it's really more of a dark comedy. And this movie just doesn't need an R rating. Now, having said that, they get away with a lot in this movie to keep a PG-13 rating. I think they really went about as close to an R rating as they possibly could while keeping it PG-13. There's a lot of language in the film, although language is something that the censors, even on television, I mean, if it gets past a certain hour at night, they're very, very lenient with language these days. There's some violence in the film, but the tone of the film at a certain point in it, it gets very dark. It gets kind of sad, actually. It's got this very dark post-apocalyptic feel, actually. And anytime in a film where you have children that are in peril, that are ostensibly dying, the MPAA has traditionally really come down hard on that film, and you have all that in the Krampus. So they've really pushed the boundaries of what a PG-13 movie is, and I think they got as close to an R rating as possible without actually having an R rating. So if that PG-13 rating is something that's just stopping you from going and watching the Krampus, don't let it. Don't worry about the rating. Forget about the rating. The things that stand out to me about the Krampus, literally within the first minute of the film, I had a huge smile on my face. The movie opens on Black Friday. There's this great opening sequence. It's all in slow motion of just people in a mall obliterating each other over televisions and just the typical junk It is hilarious, that opening sequence. I just had a smile on my face. I laughed several times. I mean, that definitely set the stage for Krampus. And as I was saying before, there's a big sort of tonal shift in the movie. The movie starts out, again, it's your sort of cynical, Christmas movie. You've got this just dysfunctional family, totally dysfunctional family. And they do a really excellent job of creating the family, of having a dysfunctional family dynamic. That over the course of the film, once the family is forced to come together and work as a unit and work as a family, you see that dynamic change from dysfunction to function. Put it that way. So I liked that sort of, not necessarily a character arc, but just an entire family arc in the movie. One of the biggest things about this movie that I liked was just the cast. Toni Collette is fantastic in the film. David Koechner is great in the film. I think the actor's name is, I want to say Adam Scott. I'm blanking on it. I apologize. He was the husband to Toni Collette's wife in the film. He gives a great performance in the film. The young man who plays like the lead boy in the film, who's lost faith in Santa Claus and in just Christmas in general, is what sort of, cues the entrance of the Krampus and all of his henchmen. He does a phenomenal job as well. So from top to bottom, the adult actors in the film, the child actors in the film, a great ensemble cast, great performances. I liked really every character in this movie, even the ones you're not necessarily supposed to like. I just really liked the characters in this film. Great casting in this movie. A great cast in this movie as well. Really good special effects in the movie. You've got a lot of practical special effects with a little bit of CGI mixed in. There may even been some CGI mixed in with the practical that I didn't even notice, which is how it should be done. The Krampus looked great in the movie. His elves and his henchmen, they looked great in the movie. There was some CGI here and there. It was fine. It's not overwhelming. It was sort of done, for me, minimalistically, which is what I think what CGI should be used for. But great special effects in the film. Again, all the elves, all the henchmen, they looked great. The Krampus looked really, really good as well. There's a great animated sequence in the film from the grandma's POV, in which we learn all about, what the Krampus is. Of course, he is the shadow of St. Nicholas. He is the dark side of Christmas. He has come not to give, but to take, not to reward, but to punish. That was a really, really, really well done animated sequence in the film from the grandmother's point of view. When she was a child, she had a run-in with the Krampus. Really, really well done. Just the film in general. It looks great. The cinematography is great. The editing is great. This is just a really, really well-made film. Michael Dougherty is definitely a good film maker. The shift in the movie, and it starts cynical, it starts comedic, then it gets dark. Like I said, it gets pretty dark. It gets kind of even sad at times. It's almost post-apocalyptic. The threat becomes real. It goes from kind of a silly threat to, oh my God, the threat is real. People are dropping like flies, so on and so forth, without giving too much away. A couple of nitpicky things with the movie. I kind of felt like they did one more sequence that was necessary to really pound home the fact that we have this dysfunctional family here who are coming together as one, as a unit, to fight this threat. They did a great job of building that and creating that, and I think they just one step too far, and it kind of messed up the pacing of the film for me right around going into the third act of the film. The third act of the film itself, like I said, when the threat becomes real, it felt kind of rushed. It felt to me as if they didn't really know how to end the film. And there's kind of two endings in the movie. And to be perfectly honest, I kind of felt there was the one ending that I thought it was gonna go for, and that would have felt very, very cheated and very much a cop out. Then they sort of throw a curve at you, and that one's a little bit more satisfying, but I still kind of felt a little cheated. And this may just be me. The people that I saw the film with, they loved the ending. They thought it ended exactly how it should end. To me, I still felt like I kind of wanted just maybe a little bit more out of that ending. There's a couple of other nitpicky little things that I could go into with the film. A couple of things I can't really put my finger on, to be perfectly honest with you. Is Krampus worth watching? Should you go watch it? Absolutely. Highly entertaining, a lot of fun, great cast, comedy that's actually funny. Like I said, I loved the family dynamic and how it, the family arc, how they go from dysfunctional to, banding together. And that felt real. That didn't feel cheesy. That didn't feel schmaltzy. That felt real. I liked all the characters in the film. All the performances are great in the film. The makeup effects in the film look great. The film itself, like I said, really, really well made film. You should go see Krampus. I recommend it. Is it a new holiday horror classic? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Is it as good as Trick or Treat? No, it's really not. But Trick or Treat really set that bar really high. I think Krampus shows that Michael Dougherty is a really, really good and talented filmmaker, and that we should certainly keep an eye on what he's going to do in the future. Whatever holiday, keep the holiday trend alive. Let's go for Thanksgiving next. Let's do a Thanksgiving horror movie, Mr. Dougherty. We need a Thanksgiving horror movie. So whatever he does next, you definitely are going to want to keep an eye on, because he's a very, very talented filmmaker, obviously, a very, very talented writer and director. That's come through in Trick or Treat as well as Krampus. So I recommend it. Go check it out. There's a lot to like here. A few nitpicky things, nothing major. Don't let the PG-13 rating deter you. Go check it out. It's an hour and 40 minutes. That's just a lot of fun. Very entertaining. Go check out the Krampus. Then come back, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. If you've seen the Krampus, please let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. Hope all you guys out there are having a great holiday season. Take care. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.